Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your local art and green witch. Today we're going to look at how to choose and create your magic wand, a little bit of wand crafting, how to select your wand, items to use, conductors, links, gift, buy, crystals, wood burning, runes, and more. Join me today as we craft your own wand. Your wand is a tool to direct energy, an extension of yourself, a tool that will assist you in directing your personal energy. I have many wands, different wands for different rituals and uses, and depends on your personal tradition. You can have as many wands as you'd like. These pieces here I have sourced out from the water's edge. Now you could also research the tree. These ones I didn't know what type of tree they were from, for they're washed up driftwood. But you can research your birth tree, whichever tree you're drawn to, then research the meaning and magical and healing properties of that tree. Always ask the tree for permission and leave an offering. You can also source some wood from the store, some specialty stores. Even a friend's yard, at the park. There's many different things you could use. You could even use an antler for your wand. Just slice off a piece of the antler and you could wire wrap it with crystals or anything you'd like. This is like a resin wand and it's made out of glue and wood actually. You could use crystals as conductors as well as copper wire. These would be great to help make the connection with your wand. Now, if you're a closet witch, you can choose a crystal wand. These are a few different types of crystal wands that you could choose here. The one's labradorite, one's smoky quartz. We have some rose quartz here as well. Now there's different types that you could choose for. Maybe you would like something that has a receiving and giving end, or a double, like a crystal at each end. You could choose a crystal or a bead or a piece of metal or a rock, or a piece of glass even, or blown glass, or a beach glass at the end of the rod of your wand. Many different wands I have to choose from. This one is for my ritual cooking. I carved this many years ago out of a branch that I found. It is wonderful to use. I love it. Now next up I have is another spoon. Now this one I haven't carved, but I did add a sigil to it and it says, "Bless my cooking." We're going to be adding to that one a little bit later. Now these, yes, they are chopsticks, so I hope I mean no disrespect to anybody. But these are beautifully carved. I love that. I have one and my daughter has the other one. We call it our Brother's Grimm. It's great. It's lightweight. It feels wonderful in the hand. And I'm telling you, I know a few people that have these gorgeous enamel chopsticks with dragon inlays that use it for a wand as well, my friend. Yes. What about this gorgeous walnut piece? This was given to me at a craft market. It's actually a shoehorn. I'm like, oh my God, it's a wand. He's like, okay. I'm like, no, it's a shoehorn. Okay. This one I carved while I was camping. I made a bunch of little wands for the kids. Kept one for me too. It's just a fun, simple little project and I've kept it for years. I adore it. Now, of course, your paintbrush is a wand. That is one of my main wands. The energy that comes through it, my writer's tool, my writer's pen, the energy that transmits through my paintbrush And my writing tool is amazing. This one here is made out of hot glue and wood. This is my bee shaman's wand. As I go through these wands, let's go over some ideas. Now, what about length? Length is not a big deal, but if you are Wiccan, you go from elbow to the tip of your middle finger. Different conductors that you could use would be wood, crystal, metal, glass. Like here, I have different crystals on the end of these. I have some amethyst to quartz. This one here is all turquoise with this one. Now, what you can do with making them, you can wood burn them. You can put runes, glyphs, symbols. You can decorate with beads or leather wraps as well. Wands can represent air or fire. You can look into your specific tradition, or you can go what just feels right to you. I use wands for fire, like a theme for air, just like that in the suits and tarot for me. I feel that resonates with me and makes sense to me. Different things you can do with your wands. Well, you can cast and close a ceremony. You can create an energy boundary. You can direct energy. You can direct energy into people, objects, amulets, items, charms, talismans, energetic sewing, and binding. There's so many different things you can do with your wand, but it is very good to set your intention into your wand. Set your wand and tell it what to do. Let it be strong and work for you. This is one of my favorite wands. This is my chakra wand that I made. I use this for psychic surgeries as well as energetic sewing. Especially afterwards, I'll have to do some sewing to close that up. But it's a beautiful wand to use. These lovely little skinny wands are just fun for directing some energy, same as this style of Dumbledore wand. Simple glue and dowelings and paintbrushes, my friend. These little witchling wands are amazing for parties, grab bags. I put them in little boxes. They're such a perfect size for the young witchling in your life. So that is it for my wand show. Let us get into some crafts. Checking out wand number 1 here. We're going to start off with a doweling and 2 crystals, because this is going to be a receiving and giving end. So it's kind of like a double receiving, so you could point it any direction you'd like. I love it. You could hold it at each end that you'd like. You can put both hands if you'd like on this type of wand. Very, very fun to play with, and I haven't had one like this before, so I thought I'd make a double receiver. So just mounting the crystals onto the ends using hot glue. You don't want a hot glue that's too hot, so I'm using actually a pretty inexpensive dollar store glue gun right now, because it actually cools down a lot faster and it's not as hot. Also, we're going to be making some designs on this wand. So if you use a glue gun that is cheaper from the dollar store, again, it doesn't burn as hot, so you're able to create some really cool designs with it. And it's not going to blob out on you with the hot big glue guns with the big glue sticks. Those ones tend to drip quite a bit, and the glue stays hot for a long time. Those are the ones that usually we glue. I make a lot of gluing mistakes with. Just doing some little curly swirls along the way. We're going to be painting this all up. So right now we're going to make some designs on the doweling. I'm just going back and forth, making some little swirls. Super easy, no rhyme or reason. Again, do whatever you wish. While you're designing your wand with your hot glue, you can think about the colors that you would like to rock in here. I'm going to go with a fall theme because it is autumn. To match the autumn colors on my wand, I'm going to start hot gluing a stencil of leaves on. So rocking in a pattern of leaves, going back and forth on each end so I can match up the designs, kind of freehanding it. And then going to be continuing the pattern in the back and around and doing just some really cool mosaic pattern, just have some fun with it. And then once we bring the paint on it, those will come out, the designs and the ridges on those. So just waiting for that to cool down now, we can hit our next step, and that is painting. Woo, my favorite part. So this one I'm gonna do a coat of black first. I'd like the colors not to be so brilliant. I would like them muted a little bit, but we're gonna use the black for a nice undertone, and then we're gonna dry brush on the red, burgundy, orange, and golds. So wait till it's dry. Now that it's kind of a flat black looking, we're gonna bring in some fall colors. Look at my palette. I didn't bring in the greens on this project, but I almost did. So I just stuck to the red and the orange and the burgundy and gold with this one. Starting off with this gorgeous, gorgeous red. Lightly dry brushing on. You can either stamp it on or you could brush it on. I feel like going a little bit thicker, so I'm actually now not doing a complete dry brush. I'm just winging it, having a good time. Going a little thicker with the red paint. I think the middle is going to be my main handle. I'm feeling that there's where I'm going to hold it, so I'm going to have fun with the color here. Now taking a burgundy over top of this is going to be stunning. It is such a gorgeous color, especially when you're painting it over the black. Using the orange hues to pop out some of the colors. And this one's still dry brushing, but it looks a lot thicker. If you get any on the crystal, wipe it off right away and you'll have no worries. Even then you can probably scrape it off the paint with your nail. It comes off pretty easy. Now you can see where I did the claws on the crystal. That is important to help hold the crystal onto the wand in case you do any spells that have a little extra flick and twist of the wrist. You want that crystal not to go flying off, so the claws of glue are very important. And it gives it kind of like a ring look to it too. Now that everything is dried again, we're going to bring in the gold. Now this one must be dry brush really light. Now it's just popping it out so beautifully. And you can go with whatever colors that you'd like. Now I'm choosing the fall colors, but if you want a princess pink, have at, or if you want some mermaid blue or some deep turquoise, oh, I'd put maybe some purple hue highlights between those colors. Now finishing up the final touches of gold, we are almost done. You could also do a clear coat of a shiny, or you can keep it more of the flat color. I'm going to keep mine a flat color. Usually I'm quite a high gloss girl, but I'm feeling the flat with this one. I think the gold is stunning just on its own. So let's work on wand number 2 now. I'm also going to be using a crystal with this one. I have found the perfect crystal. It has a little edge on its butt there that has a slice off, and it fits this wand beautifully. Lining it up here, I'm going to just run a small bead of hot glue on. You could also use Gorilla Glue. The gel glue would be fantastic for this too. But I like things to dry or cool down pretty quick so I can move on to the next step. So I'm just going to keep going on here, using the hot glue because it's just a little bit faster for me. Scraping off any excess you don't need while you can before it gets too cooled down. Again, you could do this with the more cheaper glue guns, but not those industrial ones. That would have been a hot glue under the nail. I love the shape of this piece. This is going to be fun to hold in the hand. This is going to be awesome to use. I'm feeling it. Now I'm going to use some glue here just to reinforce the crystal, and also I'm using it to fill the gap that is there, because I would like to take some wire and wrap it around, so I will hide that glue, but it will also help me without having to use so much wire and having to fill that hole with wire and build that up. Instead, I'll just gap it and then hide the glue. We're going to start off with just a small little loop, a circle here. And we're going to turn this into a spiral. Now my little needle nose pliers doesn't have teeth, so I can do this without scratching up the wire. If your little needle nose pliers have ridges, the little teeth, what you could do is put down some tape, some black tape, and then that'll help prevent, put the black tape over top of the needle nose of the little teeth, and it'll help prevent it getting any scratches. So if you can avoid not to glue down your piece, because the glue will seep through, it won't look as good. It'll seep through your little spiral guy and it will look a mess. So it's better just to wrap this as tight as you possibly can, overlap it once to help lock it in, and then start spiraling down. I'm using a lot of pressure on this to keep it super tight, and that way I don't have to use as much wire too, so it won't unravel on me. Copper is one of the great conductors. It's actually one of the sought-after metals of the indigenous community as well. It's a beautiful thing to use and is a wonderful thing to put on a wand. Holy, you want to increase that vibe, that energy, add some copper wire. Now I'm going to tuck this piece. I thought I was going to tuck it into the middle piece. I was struggling a bit here, but I had to tuck it into the bottom. There we go. Clip that off. And there we have a beginning of a wand number 2. I think I'm going to add one more thing just to make it a little whimsical, a little bit of fun. I have this lying around. Let's have a little use here. I think a little bit of ivy on this would be cute. We can make this my green witchery wand. So I started to wind it one direction and realized I wanted to overlap this going opposite way of the copper wire. So you see me unraveling it again here, and I'm redoing it. So when I go to wind it around the barrel of the wand, it's going to be overlapping. There we go. And creating a wonderful little crisscross. Trimming off the edge, and you can just tuck that in and hot glue that down so that won't come apart on you. And what I did is I folded the wire up into the little copper bits there and hid that. A little bit of hot glue. I think I just folded a leaf over top of it as well, and then it just helped hide that hot glue. There we go. Our little whimsical piece is complete. I'm very pleased with this one. I love this little green one. Wand number 3 and 4 now. Now you can get these spoons super inexpensive at the dollar store. This one's an oak piece, a little harder wood. And this is a piece I did before. I was talking to you about that one earlier. Now what I did, I used a Sharpie to draw it on, and then I used a lighter quickly over top of it, and it actually locks it into the wood, and you can wash it and it doesn't come out, and it doesn't run either, and it won't get into your food. But today we're going to do a little bit of wood burning, so I thought I'd bring out this spoon because now I have a new wood burner. My other one went kaput. So I'm going to redo this. And I'm feeling this wand. I really like how it sits in my hand. So I have some pieces here I can play with. Not quite sure what I'm going to grab yet. So let's start off with a little practice one first. Again, this one means bless my cooking. Now I'm trying to pronunciate, and the reason is because when I first did this spoon, I made it for a video in December 2022, and I don't know if I mumbled or I didn't pronounce it right, but the closed captioning automated service picked up cookie, not cooking, so it said bless my cookie. So there's that. I couldn't fix that. Now this is a bind rune. This bind rune, I designed it special for people with high anxiety. So this was designed for my daughter. She's got social anxiety. And so this will give strength. It has the strength rune in there. It'll help give guidance. It'll help give courage. It'll help to get out of your head. And every time I stir in my cooking, I'm going to be stirring in the intentions. As I'm burning this wand, I am putting the intention into this bind rune, into that sigil on the other one. And every time I use that spoon, I will use it as my magical wand in my cooking witchery. Now wand number 5 here, I want to make a fire wand, and I'm an Aries, so I'm going to lay down an Aries symbol here, I was supposed to do the Mars. I accidentally did Venus, so I wound up fixing that later off camera. Now, the sun is not affiliated with Aries, but it is a masculine for fire, and this is a symbol here. The triangle pointing up is a symbol for fire and masculine. So I like my fire wand with the sun energy coming at there. Now this one's wand number 6. We're going to jump around a little bit. We're going to do our wood burning here first. This wood, working with it, was really soft and really quick to do. I don't know if it's because it's driftwood or again the type of wood that it was. I have no way of knowing what type of wood it was when you're collecting wood by the water's edge. And just creating some fun, simple designs. And I'm gonna wrap this one in leather, so I'm just gonna do a minimal burning on here so I don't lose too many of the designs. But I like the earth, air, fire, water. Those 4 symbols I did on that. I think this is all this one would need. Now back to this one here, we're going to start off with the wire wrap, the leather wrap. You can see up the top there, I was actually experimenting with my wood burner. I accidentally experimented on the one that I'm going to use. So what do when we make a mistake? We cover it up, yay! So cover it up, it worked out great. I like it, the leather's done. Bob's your uncle, no one's the wiser. Yeah. And I kind of like it, so I'm going to repeat it on the other side. And I thought in the center too would look really sharp with this one. Keeping a firm hold on this when you're wrapping. This just does not want to stay down, this one. Having to use some super glue with this. All right, let's go. Again, a little super glue at the end. A little bit of hot glue. And then between the two of them, one of them is going to stay on for sure. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the end to match the beginning piece. I think this leather piece just fits and finishes off this piece so perfectly. Just a very simple wand, a longer wand, just with the 4 elements, something to open and close a circle with. Perfect. Let's get back to our little Aries fire wand. Yeah. Oh, back to wand number 5. I love holding this one in my hand. I really dig the feel. Love it. Just have to play with it a little bit more again. I'm excited to try it out to see how it's going to rock out. Now using my faux suede, the other one was a good leather strip, but this one's a faux suede, and it's super inexpensive to purchase any leather or the faux suede on a spool. This I think was like 10 bucks or something. All right, so what I'd like to do next is I'm gonna add some red wire to this. I was thinking I have some burgundy and I have some fire engine red, but I think we're gonna go for this nice fire engine red. Keep the color scheme going. I was gonna do both of the wire colors, but I just felt this one. So again, sometimes it's just fun to lay out all your stuff and throw some stuff down, and sometimes you use it all, sometimes you don't use half of it, but it's there, it's inspiring, you can go with it. Now I'm going to bring the wire gingerly between the symbols that I burned on there. And then I'm going to do a tight wrap of space, so a tight wrap, but a close-knit space between the spacings, if you catch my drift. And I will show you how it looks in just a moment. As I get to the end, I'm going to do a wider and a crisscross. And then I realize I want to see the crisscross at the same part. Oops, so I decided to unwrap it. I want to see the crisscross at the same top of where I did the burning. So rewrap, re-go, and then it will match where the top. I think it'll look very, very pleasing that way. I had just enough wire left on that spool. Holy smokes. Oh, wow. There. I love it. I love the tip on this. I like it. It's lacing. So here's our 6 wands. Here's our little Fire Aries wand with our red wire wrap. Oh, again, I just enjoy the fit. I can't wait to use this one. Ooh-wee. And then our Green Witch whimsical wand. Again, a nice feel, nice hold. Swish, a little try out. It's feeling good. It's feeling good. Definitely like the copper conductor. It's just a little beautiful little swirl on there. I like it. It's simple and fun. And our double receiver. This is my autumn wand for the fall time. I might need to make spring, winter, and summer wands now too. Ooh, there's a wand for every season. And then of course our bind rune and our sigil, both to bless your cooking and for your cooking witchery. And then our earth, air, fire, water, all elemental wand. I think that'll be beautiful for casting a circle of energy. Well, thanks so much for chilling out with me today. As always, it is a pleasure to hang out with you. Throw me down in the comments which one of these 6 wands was your favorite, or was it one of the colorful ones I showed you at the beginning of the video? Throw me down which one that you like, and I would love to hear that. And have yourself an absolutely magical day.